How's it going, everyone? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh K, the Lonely Hermit, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going over the play-in matches for the Elite Battle League Season 4. The final 2 playoff spots have been secured. They were pretty interesting matches. Yeah, they're pretty interesting. There's obviously an insane reaction to one of the winners, or from one of the winners, because they won the match. We'll go over that later. That was a lot of fun. But before we get into all that, be sure to look down below if that subscribe button is still red. Hit it so you do not miss any content from this channel. We have, well, the power rankings aren't going on anymore this season, but beside that, we have the top 5 plays with PokePidge and the top 5 fails with Latin Luigi, and of course weekly roundup, which I know you guys love me. I know you look forward to every single Wednesday. You count down the minutes, the seconds until I upload on the channel. I know you're waiting with bated breath, and you can't wait every week. I know I'm the highlight of your week. Okay, I know it. You don't have to say it. I know it. So here I am. Subscribe so you can see more of me. Of course, check out the EBL Twitter down below as well. And of course, the EBL would be nothing without its coaches. So go subscribe to all of them so you not miss any matches. There are 4 coaches who aren't in the EBL anymore, or at least not in this season anymore. But you should still subscribe to them. Of course, they're awesome people. But without further ado, I'm stalling. Let's get right into this. The first play-in match for the Dynamax conference was the Walton Wingles versus the Texas Tyranitar. This was a really interesting one. Like I said in the last weekly roundup, Nate was prepping for a holiday, and at the last second this match got thrown on him. So I didn't really expect too much prep from him. Like I said, on this side of the doorman, I thought he'd have more time, I guess, to prep, not as much chaos going on around him. So maybe he'd be able to stay more focused when it came to this match, and it clearly, paid off. Not trying to make any excuses for Nate, but it definitely helped a bit that the match was pushed up. Regardless, I still think with the match getting pushed out, with it being so short notice, I think Nate still did well. But unfortunately, the Walton Wingles have been eliminated from this season as the Texas Tyranitar walked away with a 6-3 victory. That was a pretty ballsy play, Doorman. That was pretty ballsy play. It's a Dynamax that requires a first turn, but it paid off. And especially also making it a special Rayquaza, making it a special one was also very, very crucial to this. So Dynamaxing first turn with the special for its attack, with the raise in the special attack, big, because first turn Tapu Koko comes out against the Quaquaw and sets up a Reflect, which I initially thought maybe would make a difference, but then I went and watched the Doorman side, and obviously the Rayquaza was special, so the Reflect made no difference. And hindsight, obviously, you Dynamax Koko, you use Max Starfall or something along those lines. It was smart, A, Dynamaxing Rayquaza first turn, and B, using Max Airstream as your first Dynamax attack first turn. So Alan did everything right on the first turn. I think maybe Nate should have realized, like, hey, he's sending out his legendary. He doesn't normally lead with his legendary, which means he's probably going to try something here. That just comes with experience and learning that stuff. So instead of going for the Reflect, maybe should have either Dynamaxed himself or just used Dazzling Gleam, which I believe was the move he had. So he should have probably attacked there. Again, hindsight will tell you that, but in the moment also you got to kind of recognize those sorts of things. But again, it was short notice. He was going through quite a bit, trying to prep for his holiday, but regardless, Rayquaza starts off incredibly well. I don't think Alan intentionally predicted the Max Flare onto the Corviknight, but ultimately that's what it turned into. Rayquaza Dynamax was able to get 3 kills before it finally went down. Who killed it? I believe it was Ninetales. Yes, Ninetales killed it because Ninetales lived on 1. It lived on 1 and was able to kill the Rayquaza. But from that point on, it was mostly just damage control on the side of Texas. They really didn't need to do anything too crazy. I believe for the Ninetales, the Claydol was brought out, and then when the Machamp came in, and killed the Claydol. The Torkoal came out and killed the Machamp. I will say the decision to to close combat again with the Machamp instead of bullet punching. Like Nate even said it himself that bullet punch would kill, and that's why he chose the moves he chose. But using close combat again, would it have taken a flamethrower from Torkoal at -1? That's up for debate. We'd have to calculate that, but definitely wasn't going to live at -2. So maybe use bullet punch instead of close combat would have probably helped. But yeah, there was that. And then eventually the Machamp goes down to the Torkoal. Like I said, it got flamethrowered, and then Aggron came out to finish the Koko, which was the last Pokemon for Walton. I did think I do see the improvements from Nate. I really do. Obviously, give him more time in this match. He maybe walks away with at least a closer loss. But I didn't really like the way he played his Dynamax too well. He did learn from his past mistakes by not Dynamaxing Corviknight. But the big highlight part of the match was when Rayquaza killed Metagross. Because the Rayquaza burned the Metagross, and then Metagross, obviously with its attack half, couldn't finish off the Rayquaza. And not only did it get another kill, its third kill actually, and then on top of that, burned the Dynamax for the side of the Wingles. But I didn't really like the lack of stab use. The stab use. Well, I don't know why I'm trying to add anything at the end of use. I don't like the lack of stab moves. He even found out himself that Max Mindstorm would have still done more than Max Lightning, and then he still proceeded to use Max Lightning. I'm talking about Nate here. So that wasn't great. Obviously, the burn did not help at all. So would it have made much of a difference? I don't know, because the Quake took that hit pretty well, the Max Lightning. So I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference considering it was burned, but I didn't really like the Dynamax play there. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it was pretty cut and dry for Texas. Like I said, the Rayquaza start really just pushed him into victory territory, and all he had to do was just clean up the remaining Pokemon. And that was that. Plus, the Rayquaza got rid of some pretty important Pokemon, Corviknight, Noivern, and Metagross. So that really helped. And then again, it was just damage control from that point on. So great job, Alan. Considering both of you guys were on short notice for this match and you had so little time to prep. Good job on your side for just saying, screw it, I'm going to go with it. And on top of that, doing a special Rayquaza. I think that really, really helped as well. So good job, Alan. We'll be talking about your matchup because whoever won this match was not getting an easy matchup after this. But congratulations for getting the last spot in the Dynamax conference, the last playoff spot in the Dynamax conference. Congratulations. Good job on your win. Moving on, we have the other match, the other playing match for the Mega Conference. We had the Florida Alligators versus the Tijuana Gengar. TJ are coming in on a losing streak in this match, but I think he just got unlucky in those last two matches, I'm not going to lie. But regardless, Florida walked away with a narrow 6-5 win. Tell me where you heard this before. Zacian walked away with a 1v3 to clutch up the win. It was the last Pokemon remaining for Florida. Turned around and just annihilated the last three Pokemon. Now, TJ just said, screw it. They ended their season the way they started it by coming out with their legendary and just Dynamaxing right off the rip. He brings out Glastrier, Dynamaxes right away. He was able to kill the Barraskewda and the Whimsicott. However, the Whimsicott did a good job of charming the Glastrier to at least get it into negative attack and make sure it couldn't do a whole lot. Because it also forced the switch out from Glastrier. Like I said, the Glastrier did manage to kill Whimsicott and Barraskewda, so it did damage. And then on top of that, Chandelure came in and killed the Togekiss that came in. However, Togekiss did leave Chandelure low, but TJ did really well to push Florida into an 0-3 hole really early in this match. But Florida just started to whittle away, very slowly. And just kind of methodically started to pick and choose which Pokemon were going to die, because ultimately that was kind of where he was at, because Luigi basically set up with every Pokemon. He set up with Glastrier, Chandelure, Klinklang, and Buzzwole. He just didn't set up with Aromatisse, and he did get Trick Room with Aromatisse at least, so I guess if you consider that setup, but he didn't set up with the Incineroar. it was just a really well played match from TJ. It's just that his last 3 Pokemon, like that's where I say Florida played. I know they were trying to lose, but they were playing really well at giving up the right kills in order to take out the right Pokemon, because a couple of different Pokemon that are in, if a couple of different Pokemon were in the place of the ones that are that Zacian killed, this might have gone differently. It might not have ended the way it did, but at the same time, Florida played well to give up the right Pokemon to make sure they got the right kills. And it says a lot that freaking Lionheart was trying to lose and he still won. It says a lot. Zacian obviously walked away with the weekly MVP with its 3-kill performance. And the ending there was great because I honestly should have wrote down what he yelled, but he was like, I won. That was awesome. And that basically told you everything you needed to know. He is not happy that he has to keep going with the season. Which, I mean, fair enough. Burnout is big for a lot of teams. I know coaches have talked about that a lot. By the time it hits playoffs, there's a lot of burnout. So that's why a lot of teams, you'll notice when they lose in the playoffs, they're just kind of like, okay, it's cool. Like, it's fine. But yeah, Florida from the death walked away with a 6-5 win. Zacian again, tell me where you heard this before, a 1v3 to secure the win for Florida and to secure the final playoff spot in the Mega Conference. It's interesting, the higher seeds won both of the play-in matches, by the way. Both of the, or I think actually I take that back. I think Florida was the lower seed. Never mind. Texas was the higher seed. I know that, over Walton. But actually I think TJ was the lower or the higher seed over Florida. So that's interesting. But yeah, nice try, Walton and TJ. No, I'm just kidding. You guys had a great season. I love the improvements, Nate. I love the improvements throughout the season. Keep working in the off season. Do some practice battles for fun. Just kind of chipping away at, just that experience level and making sure you can just keep learning more and more battling, because I think a lot of your mistakes came from experience or lack thereof. So if you just keep working at it and keep practicing, I honestly think you can do a lot of good stuff, because you've shown big strides this season. You showed big strides and you continuously improve throughout the season. So keep working at it. Can't wait to see in season 5. And same goes for TJ, I'm standing by it, the most explosive team in the league, quite possibly one of the most explosive teams we've seen in the Elite Battle League. Again, they got unlucky in the last couple weeks because they win those matches, or at least one of those matches. They're not in this play-in match. So maybe they're in, maybe they have to face Florida eventually anyways, but they win one of those matches they got unlucky in, and they don't even have to do this play-in match, and their season would have continued. So I think Luigi's a fantastic battler. He's such a wild card, and that really plays in his favor. So I'm excited to see what team he comes up with in season 5. If it's another theme team too, unless he wants to actually try next season. Not to say he doesn't try with these theme teams, but but yeah, bye guys. So with that being said, the playoff matches are set. They're set. There were a couple that were already set, but now they're officially done. They're officially set. The Mega Conference matchups are the number 1 seed DC Starmies versus the number 5, technically number 4 now, seed Florida for Alligators, and the number 2 seed Detroit Luxrays versus the number 3 seed LA Inferno. For the DC Starmies versus Florida game, just because of what Lionheart said, how he's pretty much trying to lose, I'm gonna just by default give it to Timmy. I don't know if he's gonna just hand him the win. I personally, look, Lionheart, if you're watching, put up a fight. Just try just make your loss look good. Like you did, like if you had lost this one 6-3, nah, get that out of here. Make the loss look good. Take it all the way to the distance, make it look good, make Timmy look good, I guess. But yeah, make the loss look good, man. You're going against number 1 seed. You're the 2-time champ. You can't go out on a bad loss. Like, make the loss look good. But I'm gonna rock with DC because like I said, I don't know if Lionheart plans on just giving up the match pretty much, or actually trying. If he actually tries, he's gonna put up a damn good fight. But If he doesn't, then obviously I'm just gonna rock with DC. It's kind of the safer option here. The Detroit Electrics versus the LA Inferno. These two teams are riding hot right now. This is gonna be a big clash. I'm not gonna lie. Like, looking at the teams, even from an outside perspective, this is going to be a really good clash. I'm expecting a really good battle here. These two teams are definitely gonna go at it. I'm gonna back myself just because it's me. But honestly, this is gonna be a really tight matchup. It's gonna come down to a lot of those little decisions. I feel like which team is willing to give up the certain deaths that they need to in order to win this match. It's gonna be a crazy chess match. I'm gonna rock with myself, but honestly, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can tell you that much. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, especially being one of the coaches that's part of it. So yeah, moving on, we have the Dynamax conference matchups. We have the number 1 seed Indiana Igglybuffs taking on the number 4 seed Texas Tyranitar. We have the number 2 seed Essex Espeons taking on the number 3 seed Atlanta Braviary. The only rematch, or the only immediate rematch here in the playoffs. So for the first matchup, Indiana versus Texas, I'm gonna rock with the Indiana Igglybuffs. Congratulations, Alan, on your first win, but Bob is just a fantastic battler, man. He's also had a couple weeks to prep for both these teams. He's just got a much stronger team as well. Like, this could be an uneven matchup. That Dragonite just kept heating up with every single match it played. Obviously, again, your season MVP, but yeah, I think Indiana are the strong favorites in this one, but I like what I saw with Texas, what they did against Walton. So I don't think this is going to be as cut and dry of a win as maybe we would have thought a couple weeks ago at the end of the regular season. I think this is going to be a bit of a closer one. I think Texas is going to give Indiana a run for their money, but I think Indiana will walk away with the win in that one. The other matchup, again, this is a rematch from week 4. An immediate rematch between these two teams. We have the Essex Espeons versus the Atlanta Braviary. Now, this is an interesting one because, in my opinion, when it comes to immediate rematches, the loser has the advantage because the winner has to find another way to win, whereas the loser can just scrap the game plan that they lost with and try something different. Now, one of the biggest problems for Atlanta is that Eternatus and also that Mew. The amount of trickery you can do with that Mew is nuts. So they need to be careful. They need to find a check for that Eternatus because it proved to be a big threat for Atlanta. I think this is going to be a closer match. I think Matt is going to do enough to make sure that this match is closer than it was in week 4. But I think if Pidge brings out the same level of prep and practice that he had for the week 4 matchup, I think he's got this one in the bag. However, I am expecting a closer match. I mean, none of the 6-2 business. I'm talking 6-4, 6-5, down to the wire type of match. But I'm gonna rock with the Essex Espeons in that one. That'll set up a rematch, a championship rematch in the Dynamax Conference finals, I guess. So that'll be really interesting. But with all that being said, let me know your guys' predictions down below. Let me know what you thought of the play-in matches. And of course, while you're down there, go into the description, check out all the coaches. If you want to make sure you don't miss the matches, you want to check out It's Really To Me Be, Lionheart Plays, Game Reviews, Lonely Hermit, Yeltnib, The Doorman, PokePidge, and Stone Family 64. Those are the channels you want to check out for all the matches. Of course, subscribe to the other 4 coaches regardless, but those are the 8 channels where the matches will be located. And check out the EBL Twitter down below. Be sure to subscribe. Again, if that button is not red, make it gray. I think it turns gray when you subscribe. Make it gray. Just click it if it's red. Subscribe so you not miss any of the content on this channel. There's a lot of wonderful people working on this channel and a lot of wonderful content on this channel as well. And of course, be sure to share social to your friends, family, everyone you know. Let the people know the Elite Battle League's where it's at. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.